Hey, what's up guys? It's the Sin, and welcome back to Destiny. In today's video, it is very special because I have something really cool to show you guys. Your boy is a Rivensbane, and it only took me 40 years to get this title. I actually have been really looking forward to making this kind of video on the fact that, one, I never thought I was going to get it, and then two, I never thought I was going to get it. And of course, the Taken public event will be here to overshadow my amazing progress that I made. But there's just so much I want to talk about because I have a few titles in the game. I'm not like, super grinding when it comes to titles, but I have a few, so I know how they work. But there was just something about Rivensbane that was always really special. And challenging. Yes, I am a shadow, and that too, had, flawless raid requirements and things like that. But there was just something about Rivensbane that was just special, and that's what we're going to talk about. So the first thing I would like to point out is my clanmates. If it wasn't for my clan, I would not be a Rivensbane today. And the reason for that is for two reasons. For those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure all of you know, but there is a triumph needed for Rivensbane where you have to do it with your clan. And my clan is fairly active. They mostly do PvP, but they're really not on as much as I am. I would say that I am the most active Destiny player in the clan. I'm always on Destiny. It's either Destiny or Monster Hunter. So when we were all just happened to be on at the same time, it was as if the stars were aligned. Like, I'm telling you, it was like everyone was happened to be on, and then I just put the idea out there. I said, hey, do you guys want to do a raid? And they said, sure, we'll do a raid. I took a screenshot before this video of my hunter looking really cool, and they said, sure, let's do a raid. And we, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, wait a minute, last wish, I gotta do, maybe we can do clan night. And it worked out well. Now, how long it took this is where it's gonna get funny. We literally were on that raid for at least like 12 hours, if not more. We started at like 8 p.m. We didn't stop till like 3-4 in the morning, I don't think. Granted, for a couple reasons. Not everyone knew how to do it. So, it was a lot of teaching, and then some of the people, like some of my friends, just didn't have like the right weapons. But we made it work. We made it work, and it was as if it. And that was probably, despite the length, it was probably the most rewarding raid experience I've ever had, friend-wise and just overall experience-wise. Reason being, we got it done, and I felt, I got rewarded in the sense that, I got my triumph, and that's kind of really what kind of motivated me more to kind of just keep, get Rivensbane, because to me, that was the hardest triumph. Not even, Petras Run, which a lot of people would say is hard. As I mentioned before, I am a shadow as well, so that too had flawless raid requirements. But what made Shadow easier was that there were no clan requirements for that one, I don't think. Not that I remember. I think that was the reason why I went after Shadow in the first place, is because, one, it sounded really cool, and I was like, oh, my clan doesn't really have to help out as much for this one, so it worked out perfectly. And it was just so much fun. It literally felt like Last Wish day one. And it was so much fun. Like, the wipes didn't even matter as much. And I think the best part of all of us playing together, I believe, was when we made it to the heart. That's where we kind of all just looked at each other and said, like, we can't stop now. We might as well finish it. We all were super tired. We were basically up. All of us were basically up for almost like 24 hours at that point. And we just kept it going. We persevered and we got it done. And I actually have a clip of us beating it on my Twitter. And it was just so surreal. Like, just watching that prompt come up, clan night, it just felt it was so much emotions at once. It was one, what's up close to Rivensbane, and then two, I got this triumph with people who I enjoyed playing with, and that's what made it so much better. Sure, you could say, oh, well, the Sin, you could have just, you know, joined another clan really quick, got the triumph done, and then left. That's very true. I could have done that, and I've seen numerous, you know, Guardians do the same thing. But the fact that I did it within my own clan just felt extra, just pure. Is pure the right way to say it? Like, I would feel, I'm not knocking anyone that left their clan to go just do the triumph, because, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I feel as though it just felt so just right. Like, it was, sure, it took a, you know, granted, it took, you know, a year plus, I want to say, to, you know, do that triumph. But you know what? It happened. And I did it with people who are my closest friends, and it just felt amazing. Next thing, Petras Run. Okay, Petras Run wasn't that bad. I believe I've tried numerous times. I want to say at least less than 20, I want to say. But the team who I did it with was actually fairly good raiders. I'm very confident in my raid abilities. I mean, anyone who has a flawless underneath their belt knows what they're doing. They know how to play, bottom line. And I'm, you know, fairly confident in my abilities as a PvE player and a raider. I mean, I've pretty much done all I could ever do with Crown of Sorrow. So I was just ready to move on to, you know, the next thing. I mean, I already got a 3-man under Crown of Sorrow. So I think when I was really in that mindset, I'm finally ready to do this Petras Run, everything just felt right. We only wiped, the team I was with when we got it done Saturday is, we only wiped about 3 times, and that 4th time was just perfect. Down to the heart run, everything was just so smooth. Believe it or not, the encounter I was worried about the most was actually Morgith and Riven. Because now that everyone swords her, I knew some BS would happen. I was literally saying to myself, yo, she's about to physics me. I'm going to go in too early with my bubble. I did it on my time, by the way. When it was time to do, you know, sword her hand, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to, like, get smushed by her hand and get physics. But none of that happened. Like, her run, like, that part was so smooth. And in fact, we got lucky to the point where she was in the first crystal room. So that's how we all knew, like, okay, this is the run. This is definitely the run. We didn't even need to teleport. So, and it just went smooth from there. Like, the hard run wasn't that bad. I think I went in the second time. Yeah, after the first guy went in, it was my turn. So I was happy. I didn't want to be the guy towards the end, so it kind of worked out perfectly for me. I gotta shoot someone with this. I feel like, did I shoot someone with this earlier? Alright, there we go. I gotta get one Izanagi shot off. But that part was not that bad. The whole run was so smooth. But after doing it, I can really see why out of all the triumphs, that one will hold you back the most. Because so many mistakes can happen. Like, after I got it, this is so weird. Didn't you guys do this? Didn't you guys do something in Destiny or get something in Destiny and then you just go watch on YouTube to see other people's, like, reactions or see them go for the same thing? I may be weird. I may be the only one that does that. But after I got my Petras Run out of the way, I literally went on YouTube and I was just watching other people's attempts. Oh my god, the stuff that they were dying to literally had me feel so bad, because I'm like, you know what, that probably could have happened to me. Oh, that could have happened to me too. Oh, I'm really surprised that didn't happen to me. So, it was just literally so much at once. Like, oh my goodness. But it just feels, it just feels so good to have this on right now. Like, I'm not knocking it compared to my Shadow, because Shadow is probably my favorite, because each of my titles had their own story. I may do a video on Shadow, but I believe I already did one before, so I'm not going to duplicate again. But, you know, Dredgen was my first, Cursebreaker was my second, Shadow was my third, and Rivensbane was my most recent. And you know what I liked about being a Rivensbane so far is that it was one of the it's literally like the first title. I think next to it is literally Cursebreaker. So it's such a triumphant thing to just have on your character. I believe it says so much. I equate like Rivensbane and Unbroken are the two most respectable titles in the game, in my opinion. They just say like you did that shit, like, period. Shadow 2, like, all of them do, but there's just something just about Rivensbane that just kind of hits different. Like, you know, I went after Shadow because during that time I attempted to do, you know, Crown of Sorrow like the very first day, and it did not go well. And I believe that was the turning point for me, Destiny-wise, content creation-wise, and just player-wise. Like, that day when we didn't get it done, something snapped in me where I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I wanted to master everything about that raid. I wanted to master that whole season, and I did, and it felt amazing. Like, to become a Shadow during Season of Opulence, it was just so special. And ever since that day, I've just been hungry to just be good at this game. And Rivensbane was always like that end goal where I told myself, if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. Because I feel like, you know, I've definitely showcased my skill in this game. And no one could take that from me. But when the stars finally aligned, when I got the Clan Night done, when I finally got Petras Run done, I just literally sat for a minute and was like, this is the Destiny player I've always wanted to be. And that's what I really love about titles, because they really just say something about you as a player, as a guardian, as a person. I mean, to this day, I think Reckoners are literally insane. Like, I wanted to do a video going over, I am a really crap shot. I wanted to do a video just talking about all the titles, especially Reckoner, because Reckoners are insane. If there are any Reckoners that watch this video, I just want to let you guys know you guys are fucking crazy, and y'all are like the most committed kind of Destiny players I've ever seen. Like, I love Gambit. Dredgen was my first title. I live for Gambit. But damn, like, that's a lot of Gambit. Like, you literally have to tell yourself, I'm gonna play Gambit Prime and be literally the best at every single role. And you did that shit. Like, it's crazy. I can see why lately, you know, Reckoner has been like that hot title, because it just says that about you. But, you know, I'm just saying, y'all are insane. But all the other titles I go to, I feel like what Wayfarer says is, you know, it just says like, hey, you're just, you know, you're a collector. Like, you've been playing this game since literally vanilla, and you want to show like you got it all. Unbroken, you guys are just Crucible gods. Like, you want to let people know like you are not to be fucked with. That's what Unbroken says to me. Like, if you catch me out, whether it's a patrol or in a Crucible, just know I got hands. Dredgen, y'all like Gambit, period. Bottom line, y'all live for Gambit, or you wanted to finally have that purple text above your name. Blacksmith, you think 801 is the best NPC in the game, and she's your waifu. That's what that says about you. Am I missing out on anything? Cursebreakers. What Cursebreaker says is, you love you some Dreaming City, and your RNG was just godlike. I feel like if you're a Cursebreaker, your RNG is out of this world. Like, I feel like what that says is the stars were aligned, and you said, let me just finish it. But yeah, I mean, I love Cursebreaker. It's one of my titles too. It's amazing lore wise, and I got it actually on my Titan who's an Awoken, and I feel like you know, that's the kind of title you should have on an Awoken, because I'm extra like that. I'm whimsical. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, titles are just, I love the titles, man. I'm a Rivensbane, and it just feels so good. It just feels so nice. And it's just funny though because I've been playing this game for such a long time, and when I first started, I was not the best Destiny player. I was bad at this game, and I was playing with people who just made me aware of that. Like, sure, they help, but like I was playing with people who I feel like if I look back on, I feel like I shouldn't have been. I feel like I should have probably just made better friends, which I eventually did. But I am like I literally pulled a 180 in terms of my skill and my commitment to this game, and that's why it's really cool to just wear it's that I'm just proud of the titles that I have, because you know, Descend from D1 Vanilla is not the Descend from D2 Shadowkeep. Those are like literally two different players, and I'm just really proud of my growth. I'm really proud of how far I've gotten in this game, and I just can't wait for more future titles to come out. My next big goal, now that I've acquired Rivensbane, now that, you know, I did a bungee bounty before and stuff like that, you know, I got a 3-man raid under my belt. I believe, and I'm confident that I can do this, is I want to do a raid within 24 hours. That is something that I know that I could achieve, because I know I would have the time, because I feel like now that raids are, you know, from what I'm seeing, they're on Saturdays now, and I have Saturdays off. So with raids being on, you know, Saturdays, and, you know, I've been making a lot of friends. You know, LFG is still, you know, a viable option. I would definitely like to complete a raid within 24 hours. I feel like I know it's possible. I know that I have the commitment to do it, the skill to do it, and that's like the last thing I feel I need to do on my little Destiny list. And I feel like the fall expansion is going to have something on the lines of Last Wish, and I'm ready for it. Like, mentally, I'm ready. And even if, for example, I get to the last encounter, the middle encounter, like, if I can just stick it out to just show people, like, I'm in this to win this and I'm that kind of player, that's all I care about. And I feel like the reason I've been chasing these titles is, especially Rivensbane and Shadow, is it's kind of like a resume. I want to look good for, if I do go on LFG, for example, and have to get picked up, I want to just have ready, like, I want to just look the part. I want to be able to say, like, I want someone to look at Descent and say, you know what? This guy looks like he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He's committed to the game. Like, let's see what he got. Like, that's what I'm looking for. And I like that. I love that my clan just, you know, we're just so close together. They push me, and they know that I'm a good Destiny player as well as just a gamer, content creator in general. I'm a finish you. And oh man, that's why I'm not gonna be an unbroken, because I can't land my snipes like that. How come every time I come back over here it gets so dark and moody? But yeah, like, I feel like the next step is just 24-hour raid at this point. 24-hour raid. Like, I feel as though that's gonna be the next big thing. I'm gonna tweet that right now. I'm gonna say, yo, Descend here. I'm gonna get a 24-hour raid done in the future, and it's gonna be awesome. And, you know, bottom line is Rivensbane is just, it's such a prestigious title, and I just love titles in general. Like, now to be a Rivensbane in the Shadow, it's amazing. I was actually gonna go for Reckoner, but I was doing the helmet thing, and I was still on like one of the first helmets for Sentry, and I was just like, yeah, no, this is gonna take a while. But I feel like that's the hardest part. I feel like once you have all the Notorious helmets, it's kind of just easy from there, because you just got to do the thing. But man, that's a lot of, boy, that's a lot of gambit. Like, oh man, like, Reckoners, oh jeez, you guys are just crazy, man. You guys are just crazy. And it just felt so fitting to come here, the Dreaming City, to talk about Rivensbane and why it's great. I'm gonna stand up on this rock up here. Oh. This guy seems cool. I wonder if I can make it to this rock. But yeah. I love Destiny. And I just want to be the best that I can at it. And, you know, with me achieving Rivensbane, it's just such a big pivotal, it was such a big pivotal moment for me. And I was just really happy to, you know, share with you guys. But if anything, in the comments, please let me know what your Destiny goals are. What is a title that you're proud of and why did you go for it? And if you really like this video, a like and a comment is always appreciated. And if you really liked it, a sub is cool too. I will catch you guys in the future. And thanks for watching. Peace.